So we got back from Franklin, Tennessee, super early morning yesterday, about 3 a.m. We were there for a business conference. I do have some of the travel footage driving to Franklin from Dallas, but really I just wanted to share with you the afternoon that we had on Saturday. We had a couple hours that we could kind of venture around. We went to a Civil War museum and we hopped around different restaurants. So I kind of wanted to share it with you. It's not super long. Like I said, it's just a couple hours, but hopefully give some ideas of things that you could do in Franklin, or maybe just put Franklin on the list. Jake and I absolutely fell in love with Franklin. Like, we already knew that we liked Tennessee just because of the trees and the hills, and it's just like the fresh air. We just love Tennessee in general. And then we went to Franklin. This was both of our first time, and it was so cute, and I feel like highly underrated. I don't hear about it enough. So everyone talks about Nashville or they talk about Memphis, but Franklin really needs to be on people's list. So just sharing a little bit of our afternoon, and I hope you guys enjoy. We have about a 9-hour drive, I think. We're actually gonna go to Buc-ee's, which I don't know if you are from Texas, you know what Buc-ee's is. If you aren't from Texas, Buc-ee's is like this ginormous like gas station essentially. I'll show some footage of it, but they have like all sorts of stuff. Like, you could spend hours in there. We're not going to, but you could. And then we're gonna leave from there to go to Franklin. So I'm excited to show you guys what we get up to this weekend. That's what we're going for, is a business conference, but I will show you other things that we kind of get up to, or 30 minutes actually before everyone gets here, and then we'll be on our way. So see you guys in a second. I need money.
What are you doing?
Are you coming?
Yeah.
Here at Buc-ee's.
Hey. Here.
Taco Bueno.
Richard. Here. Sean. Here. Delaney.
Here.
Jeremy. Here. Jake. Here.
After about 9.5 hours, we finally made it to Franklin, Tennessee. We got checked into our hotel. We did stay at the Hilton Cool Springs. It was in a beautiful location surrounded by trees and hills, and it was really close to the interstate, so it was incredibly convenient to get to and from places. Thanks. Thankfully, they did let us check in a little bit early. We got there around 9:30, 10. So once we got checked in and got settled, we got changed and went off to breakfast. I don't know about y'all, but one of the first things I do when I get checked into a hotel room is turn that AC down. Here's the view from our room, beautiful trees and hills all surrounding us. Now off to breakfast. Named Tennessee's most handsome town in the 1920s by the Rotary Club, it's agreed by visitors today that Franklin is one of the prettiest towns in the US, and I 100% agree. Once we got parked, we walked about 5 minutes to our restaurant called Biscuit Love. Depending on when you go and how many people you're traveling with or going to breakfast with, I definitely recommend maybe going a little bit earlier. We went on a Friday around 10:30, 11, and it was surprisingly busy, line out the door. But once we got in there, they had a lot of really good options. I got the East Nasty, which was a biscuit with fried chicken thigh and sausage gravy. Jake got the Southern Benny, which was a biscuit with ham, a sunny side up egg, and I think some gravy as well. And everyone else kind of got a mixture of things.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, Jake.
What are we doing?
We are going to tour. Where are you?
I'm right
There
here.
you are. The Carter
House?
Carter.
Wow. What is called the Carter House today, Fountain Branch Carter in the year 1830 built a 1.5-story home just minutes away from downtown Franklin. Him and his wife Polly, along with their 12 children, lived there. Only 8 of those 12 children actually lived to adulthood. During the Civil War, on November 30th, 1864, the 23rd Army Corps, led by Brigadier General Jacob D. Cox, commandeered the property to be used as headquarters as troops made their way to what is more commonly known as the Battle of Nashville. Our guide mentioned to us that this battle was never even supposed to take place, but with unfortunate circumstances and an immense amount of pride, it led to what we know now today as the Battle of Franklin. When we got there, they said that we had about 6 minutes before the next tour started, so perfect timing. While we waited, we walked around the indoor museum, which had pieces from that time and stories about some of the soldiers that fought in the Battle of Franklin. If you've ever been to a historical site where people lost their lives, there's an eeriness about it. But I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to learn about this piece of U.S. history where it took place. There were originally only 4 buildings on the property: the main house, kitchen, field office, and storehouse. The slave house, which is this building right here, was placed here at a later time. This is our tour guide, Lyle. He was very nice, informative, and knowledgeable, like he's been doing this a long time. This first building on the left is the kitchen, which is separate from the main house just because of the fire hazard that it presented during those times. The main house itself did take gunfire during the Battle of Franklin. You can see bullet holes in the side of the house. There's even a mesh covering to preserve the cannonball that went through the house as well, which would have been so scary if you were inside, obviously. They did ask us not to film or take any pictures while we were inside the home, but the tour itself probably took about 60 minutes, and we finished up here in the storehouse, which obviously took a lot of gunfire during the battle. I would 10 out of 10 recommend, and I wish that we could have visited more of the battlefields and the Civil War sites there in Franklin. We will definitely do that next time. We worked up an appetite, so we made it back down to the heart of downtown Franklin. We found some parking and actually decided to tour the town square, which is where the Confederate soldiers stood at its center. We ended up parking in the same lot that we did the day before for Biscuit Love and walked to the Franklin Town Square to take a closer look at the Confederate soldier statue. And what's crazy to us, or fascinating rather, about the Civil War is that these people were best friends and neighbors, and here they were fighting to the death.
We who saw and knew them well are witnesses to coming ages of their valor and fidelity. Tried and true, glory crowned, 1861 to 1865.
Seeking truth within our history that's taught is important to Jake and I. Reading original documents, visiting historical sites, this is something that we plan on doing a lot more of as we dig deeper into the history of not just our country, but our world. It's an element of learning history that I personally believe more people should partake in. Once we finished up at the square, we made our way to the first restaurant, which is called Gray's on Main. We ended up just getting an appetizer there. We got the fried pimento cheese balls. I did not get any footage of that. After there, we went to McCreary's Irish Pub. We were both really feeling and craving fish and chips. They were delicious. I highly recommend. The place was packed. After that, we got some dessert at Kilwin's. We actually have Kilwin's here in Texas, but it was right across the street, so really easy to get to. The ice cream that I got was the Franklin Mud in a waffle cone bowl, and Jake got the Mackinac Island Fudge ice cream also in a waffle cone bowl. They were delicious. Yummy. Can I sit down? What kind did you get, babe?
I got the Mackinac Island Fudge.
As I mentioned in the beginning, Franklin, Tennessee stole our hearts, and we cannot wait to go back. So like I said, not a lot of footage, not a lot of things that we were able to do just because we were short on time, but we are looking forward to going back again, either with our business team or just on our own time. I'm super excited about that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more.